welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about the fascinating life and mysterious death of Rudolf Diesel.
Rudolf Diesel?
Yeah, you know, the diesel engine guy.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to kind of take you through his life and the development of the engine and all the way up to his mysterious disappearance in 1913.
Mysterious death.
Right.
So there's a lot to unpack here.
There is.
But let's start from the beginning. I mean, this guy's life wasn't exactly a walk in the park, right?
No, it wasn't. You know what's captivating about Rudolf Diesel is that his path to invention was paved with challenges from a very young age.
Okay, so paint me a picture, like, what was his childhood like?
Okay, imagine this. Paris, 1858.
Okay.
A young Rudolf Diesel is born.
Right.
But his early years are far from idyllic. When the Franco-Prussian War erupts his family with the German roots, suddenly becomes the enemy, they're forced to flee to London seeking refuge. Can you imagine being 12 years old, ripped from your home, your life turned upside down?
Wow, that's a pretty dramatic start to life.
Yeah,
I can only imagine how that kind of upheaval would shape, a young mind.
Exactly. And it's during this time in London that we see the seeds of Diesel's ambition being sown. Picture him, this young boy walking through the industrial heart of London. The city is a stark contrast to the life he knew in Paris. He witnesses firsthand the grime, the poverty, the sheer struggle of factory life, and it leaves an indelible mark on him.
So it wasn't just about, inventing cool machines for him. It was about making a real difference in the world.
Absolutely. This early exposure to social inequity fueled his desire to create technology that could empower people, particularly small businesses and rural communities, who often struggled against industrial giants. Diesel believed his engine, with its potential for efficiency and independence from centralized power sources, could be a game changer.
That's incredible. It's like he saw this invention as a way to level the playing field.
Exactly.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's rewind a bit. What about his education? Was he always a whiz kid?
Oh, absolutely. He excelled in his studies, especially math and science. His parents, though initially hoping he'd follow in his father's footsteps as a leather craftsman, couldn't deny his talent.
Yeah.
Luckily, he had some very supportive relatives in Germany, the Barnacles, who recognized his potential and ensured his education continued.
So Germany becomes the launch pad for his engineering journey.
Precisely. He ends up at the Royal Bavarian Polytechnic School in Augsburg, immersing himself in thermodynamics engine design, basically everything that would lay the foundation for his future breakthroughs. And it's during a lecture about the Carnot cycle, this theoretical framework for the most efficient engine possible, that Diesel has what you might call a light bulb moment.
Okay, I'm all ears. What happened?
He's so captivated by this concept of maximum efficiency that he jots down a note in his notebook, and get this, it says, "The study of the Carnot cycle has brought me to the firm conviction that a much higher efficiency can be obtained." It's as if right then and there he saw a glimpse of the future of engines.
Wow, talk about foreshadowing. But let's not forget the context. What was Germany like at this time? Was it a supportive environment for innovation, or were there forces working against him?
Germany was undergoing a period of intense transformation. Bismarck had unified the country, industry was booming, but there was also this underlying tension. Kaiser Wilhelm II was ambitious, eager to build a powerful navy to rival Britain. You can almost feel the shadow of war looming, and technology, especially something as revolutionary as Diesel's engine, was becoming a key weapon in this power struggle.
So we've got a brilliant young inventor stepping onto a world stage that's on the brink of major change. Where does this story go from here?
Well, that's where things take an unexpected turn. Diesel initially focuses on refrigeration, a far cry from the powerful engines he'll become known for. But even in this seemingly unrelated field, we see his relentless drive for efficiency and innovation.
Wait a minute. So the guy who revolutionized engines with diesel power started with ice machines. That's wild. Was it just a stepping stone, or was he truly passionate about refrigeration?
It was a bit of both, actually. He genuinely saw the potential for refrigeration to improve people's lives, especially when it came to food preservation and storage. But remember those images of poverty from his childhood in London? Those never left him. Deep down, he knew his path led back to engines, back to creating something that could truly disrupt the status quo.
Okay, now this is where I can feel the intrigue building.
Yeah.
He's got this vision, this drive to create something truly groundbreaking. I can't wait to hear what happens next.
Remember that note that he jotted down during that Carnot cycle lecture? Well, that wasn't just a passing thought. It became his obsession. He spent years, almost a decade, meticulously working on his engine design, relentlessly pursuing this idea of creating a more efficient engine.
So it wasn't some eureka moment, more like a slow burn of genius.
Exactly. And it was far from easy. Diesel faced countless setbacks, technical challenges that would have made most people give up.
Yeah.
But he was relentless, driven by this conviction that he could unlock a new level of power and efficiency.
So I'm picturing him in his workshop, surrounded by blueprints, tinkering away night after night. What was the key breakthrough? The aha moment that made his engine so revolutionary?
It all came down to what we call controlled internal combustion.
Okay.
To understand this, think about the steam engine, the dominant power source at the time. It was bulky, inefficient, and relied on this external process of heating water to create steam to drive the engine.
Yeah, not exactly elegant or compact.
Exactly. Diesel's vision was completely different. He imagined an engine where fuel was injected directly into the cylinder and ignited by the heat of compression itself. No more clunky external boilers or steam.
That's incredible. It's like he bypassed a whole step in the process. His engine design was years ahead of its time.
You're absolutely right.
Mm,
But as you can imagine, not everyone was thrilled about this radical new invention.
I imagine not.
Remember, this was a time of rapid technological advancement, but also a time when established industries had a lot invested in the old ways of doing things. The steam engine had reigned supreme for a century. Diesel was a true disruptor, and he faced a lot of resistance from industry giants who had a lot to lose if his engine took off.
I bet. It's hard to let go of the old ways, especially when you've built an empire on them. So how did Diesel overcome these challenges? How did he convince the world to take a chance on this radical new engine?
He needed a champion, someone with the vision and resources to bring his design to life. Enter Heinrich von Buzz,
Okay.
the director of Maschinenfabrik Augsburg, one of Germany's leading engineering firms.
Ah, so this is where the big money steps in.
Yes, but it was more than just money.
Hmm.
Buzz was a brilliant engineer himself. He saw the potential of Diesel's engine, and he was willing to take a gamble on this unproven technology.
That takes guts. So with Buzz's backing, Diesel finally had the chance to build his dream engine.
Yes, and in 1893, after years of tireless work and refinement, the first functional diesel engine roared to life.
Wow.
It was a moment of triumph, a culmination of years of dedication and unwavering belief, but it was also just the beginning.
Okay, let's talk impact. This wasn't just some cool invention that sat in a lab. How did this engine change the world?
The diesel engine's impact on global commerce was transformative. Think about it, ships that could cross the Atlantic without refueling. That's what the diesel engine made possible. It revolutionized maritime transport, and it wasn't just ships. Diesel engines found their way into locomotives, powering trains across continents. They even played a crucial role in the development of submarines.
Full-on submarines. So Diesel's engine helped shape the future of warfare, too.
Absolutely. Diesel's engine was a game changer for submarine technology. It provided a reliable and efficient power source that allowed these underwater vessels to travel longer distances and stay submerged for extended periods. It was a revolution in naval warfare, but the impact went even deeper than that.
Yeah.
The diesel engine also shifted the balance of power on a global scale. Nations that had limited access to coal suddenly had a new energy source, giving them a strategic advantage they never had before.
So we've got this revolutionary invention that's transforming industries, impacting global trade and shaping the future of warfare. This is huge. But where does the mystery of Diesel's disappearance fit into all of this? This is the part I've been waiting for.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's where our story takes a dark and intriguing turn.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. We got this brilliant inventor at the height of his success. His engine is reshaping the world, and then poof, he vanishes. Tell me more.
In 1913, Diesel boards a ferry from Belgium to England for a meeting with some of his British business partners. He's never seen alive again.
Wait, so he just disappears from a ferry. Were there any witnesses? Any clues?
The details are shrouded in mystery. The official story is suicide, but the evidence is far from conclusive. And that's where the conspiracy theories begin.
The official story is suicide. But something doesn't feel right. Why would a man at the height of his success with a world-changing invention choose to end his life?
Yep.
It doesn't add up.
Exactly. And that's what makes this story so captivating. Diesel was a man of immense knowledge and influence. His engine was disrupting industries and challenging powerful interests. Was he silenced? Did he fake his own death to escape some unknown threat? These are the questions that have haunted historians and fueled speculation for over a century.
Ooh, this is getting good.
Hmm.
But let's back up a bit. Was there anything unusual about Diesel's behavior leading up to his disappearance? Any signs that he might have been in trouble or planning something drastic?
There are some intriguing details that have emerged over the years. Diesel had become increasingly vocal in his criticism of nationalism and the growing militarization of Europe in the years leading up to World War I. He had also expressed concerns about the potential for his engine to be used for destructive purposes for war.
So he was a pacifist at heart, worried about the unintended consequences of his invention.
It seems that way, and this put him at odds with some very powerful figures in Germany, including Kaiser Wilhelm II, who saw the diesel engine as a key to military dominance. Remember, this was just a year before the outbreak of World War I. Tensions were high, and Diesel's knowledge and his invention were suddenly at the center of a global power struggle.
Okay, so we've got a brilliant inventor worried about the future at odds with powerful forces, and then he vanishes under mysterious circumstances. This is incredible. I can't wait to hear more about the theories surrounding his disappearance.
So a few weeks after his disappearance, a body is found floating in the North Sea. Dutch sailors recover it and find a few personal items: a pocket watch, an eyeglass case, a pillbox. They turn these over to authorities, but the body itself is lost to the sea.
So there's no way to definitively say it was Diesel, right?
Right. But those personal items could offer clues.
Okay, so what about those items? Anything unusual?
Well, the items themselves aren't particularly unusual. It's the circumstances surrounding them that raise eyebrows.
Okay, how so?
Take the pillbox, for example. According to Diesel's family, he rarely carried it. And even if he had, it seems unlikely a small metal box would survive weeks adrift at sea.
So you're saying the body might not have even been his? That this was all staged?
It's a possibility worth considering. Remember, Diesel was a meticulous man, highly organized. He left behind a well-organized estate and had recently settled his financial affairs, almost as if he were preparing for something.
Whoa, okay, my mind is officially blown. So if it wasn't suicide, what are we talking about? Kidnapping? Espionage? Was he forced to disappear?
There's a compelling theory that Diesel might have actually defected. Think back to the tensions in Europe at the time. Diesel was becoming increasingly disillusioned with Germany's militaristic ambitions, and he had strong ties to British and American companies.
And his engine was transforming warfare. Maybe powerful forces wanted to control his technology or silence him. It's like something out of a spy novel.
Exactly. His knowledge could have been a weapon in the wrong hands or a valuable asset to those who wanted to stay ahead in the technological arms race. Imagine the advantage Britain or the U.S. could gain if they had exclusive access to Diesel's expertise.
So maybe he made a deal, struck a bargain to protect himself and his family in exchange for his knowledge. But if he did defect, where did he go?
The trail goes cold after that ferry crossing, but there are some tantalizing hints. Some historians believe Diesel might have been smuggled to England or even to Canada, where he could continue his work in secret, perhaps, for the British Admiralty.
And get this, not long after Diesel's disappearance, the British make a series of major breakthroughs in submarine engine technology. Coincidence?
The British had struggled for years to develop a reliable submarine diesel engine. Then suddenly, shortly after Diesel vanishes, they crack the code. The timing is certainly curious.
Wow, this is incredible. So we've got a missing inventor, a possible defection, a trail of technological advancements that point to something bigger at play. It's like piecing together a puzzle with some pieces missing. What does it all mean?
Rudolf Diesel's disappearance remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Did he choose to disappear, or was he forced? Did he sacrifice his own life to prevent his invention from being used for war? We may never know for sure.
It's a story that really makes you think. Rudolf Diesel, a genius who changed the world with his invention, but whose own life ended, shrouded in mystery. What really happened on that ferry? How much did his disappearance impact the course of history, especially with World War I looming on the horizon? This deep dive has been a wild ride.
The official narrative of suicide might have been a convenient way to protect national secrets and even Diesel himself. Perhaps somewhere hidden in a dusty archive, the answers are waiting to be discovered. Or maybe the truth is lost to history, another casualty of the tumultuous times Diesel lived in.
One thing's for sure, the mystery surrounding Rudolf Diesel's disappearance continues to intrigue and fascinate us over a century later. For those of you who want to delve even deeper into this captivating story, we highly recommend the book, The Mysterious Case of Rudolf Diesel: Genius, Power, and Deception on the Eve of World War I. You can find an affiliate link in the episode description. Who knows, maybe you'll uncover a clue that's been overlooked all these years.
Diesel's story is a reminder that innovation often comes at a price. It raises questions about the responsibility that comes with scientific advancement and the choices we make when faced with extraordinary circumstances.
What a thought-provoking way to end our deep dive into the life and mystery of Rudolf Diesel. It's a story that makes you question everything and reminds us that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the mysteries alive.